matches at 126-pound state championships in Class A. Curley Smith of Omaha North. A defending state champion meeting Rick McGee of Kearney. In Class B, it'll be Ritchter of Ogallala facing Chris Hatch of Hastings. In Class C, it'll be Matt Nigro meeting Jim Buresh. And in Class D, Joe Bob Atkins of Arnold facing Donny Nordhues, 39-0 from Greeley. And a lot of eyes right now focused on the Class D mat in your lower right-hand portion of the screen. Donny Nordhues is in all red, and Joe Bob Atkins in the red and white.
I'm sure a lot of people read the stories this week on Donny Nordhues. He does have cystic fibrosis.
And we got to say that it really makes it difficult. You and I both saw him yesterday, and he was coughing just profusely before the match, during the match, after the match. He could barely talk with us, and he's just an outstanding young man, and it's really hard to root against this guy.
Yeah, the amazing thing was, I mean, we saw how hard he was coughing yesterday. After, during, even during his match, he said he's doing better this year than he did last year. I'd hate to see what he looked like last year.
Well, what he told us was the worst thing about it is during a match when there's a pause, other wrestlers are catching their breath. He is coughing and does not get to catch his breath.
Yeah, because we asked him that same question. Does it ever affect? Has it ever come into a problem with the injury time? Because they do stop it sometimes because he's coughing so heavily that he can't continue. But he says no, he's never had a problem as far as him running out of time, but he doesn't like that his opponents get the chance to rest.
Again, Nordhues in Class D, lower right hand. He's the one. They both have red and white uniforms, but Nordhues has the red anklets. If you look at their anklets, you'll see he has the red anklets, and Atkins with the green anklets.
Another way we can tell, he has two knee pads on, a black one and a white one. He also has red and white headgear on, while Joe Bob Atkins has just black headgear on. So
no score in our other matches so far, and really, we talked about it.
Goes to a takedown over there in Class A. Rick McGee just took down Curley Smith. Curley Smith, the defending state champ from last year.
He's unbeaten at 23-0. Also, McGee is 29-3, was ranked 4th coming in. Smith was ranked number 1. So a big early lead right now for McGee, leading at 2-0. I didn't mean to big in terms of amount of points, but big for him, and that he got a lead because that gives him some confidence. And we're about to get some points now in Class C. We got a near fall going here.
Jim Buresh of Aquinas.
He's an undefeated wrestler meeting Matt Nigro of Conestoga, and Nigro in trouble. And he's got a minute to fight out in the period. Well, I tell you, Buresh really's got him in trouble. We're back in action in Class D, and we'll continue to watch this match closely as Nordhues about to get the takedown and has it. Nordhues takes a 2-0 lead in Class D.
There's the fall in Class C for Jim Buresh of David City, Aquinas. The number 1 ranked wrestler pins the number 2 ranked wrestler in the state. Jim Buresh going to 30-0, his second state title as well for the senior.
Really a great career for Jim Buresh from Aquinas. Really has done an outstanding job.
He's got a 64-0 string going, as a matter of fact.
An escape for Curley Smith in Class A from Omaha North. Smith now has closed the gap 2-1 with Rick McGee of Kearney. In Class B, it's a 2-0 lead for Chris Hatch of Hastings over Chris Ritchter of Ogallala. And again in Class D, Donny Nordhues trying to become the first 4-time state champ since 1950 is leading 2-0. And there you can see Donny coughing a bit. And that's something that he fights during the whole match.
Let me correct myself. In Class C, Jim Buresh now 65-0 over the last 2 years. Never qualified for the state tournament before.
Wow.
And he actually was almost upset in the quarterfinals Thursday night, but was able to fight through. That was a rematch of last year where Buresh also won it as well.
It's now a 2-1 score in Class B with Hatch leading Ritchter 2-1.
It's also 2-1 in A. But Rick McGee of Kearney leading the number 1 ranked wrestler Curley Smith from Omaha North.
And Kearney's got a big crowd here, and I know that has really helped the Kearney wrestlers, especially McGee, leading at 3-1.
The team title's the team race is pretty much out of hand now, so that probably actually takes a little bit of pressure off Rick McGee. I'm sure if the team title was on the line, that that would make him a little bit tighter. He's in on a nice high crotch here. Switches off to a double. Curley Smith doing a good job locking in the crotch, not even letting McGee finish. McGee not giving up on it. And there's another takedown for McGee over Curley Smith and near fall points. No, we just got a 1 count, so there will be no near fall points. But that gives him a 5-1 lead now.
In Class D, Donny Nordhues still leading it 2-0. Just underway in the second period. Nordhues closing in on the 4th straight state title, but I tell you what, Joe Bob Atkins is an excellent wrestler. Again, he came in a difficult situation. I really tip my cap to him because he's wrestling very hard and still definitely has a shot at a title here.
Joe Bob 31-3 right now. He did go into overtime in the semifinals, had a tough road to get to this finals match against Nordhues. He did play 6th last year at 125 pounds.
Class B, it's 2-1. Chris Hatch leading Chris Ritchter. And again, Class A, it's 5-1 with McGee leading Curley Smith. And we had a pin in Class C where Jim Buresh of David City Aquinas pinned Matt
Nigro. There's near fall for Donny Nordhues.
Boy, he'd love to get a pin. Man,
a lot of time left in this match. He could get it. A lot of time left in this period. Joe Bob Atkins able to get off of his back there.
Very smart wrestler is Nordhues, because once he saw he couldn't get the pin, he got out of that combination in a hurry. Now leads it 5-0. You know, coming in, everybody anticipated that Nordhues might win the title, but I tell you, I've seen it come close so many times, and he still has a long ways to go. Don't get me wrong, because an escape now scored by Atkins, but you just can't believe how difficult it is and how difficult it's been.
There's an escape for Atkins that makes it 5-1. Talking to some other coaches from other schools, said that Nordhues also was on the football team, had to have his appendix out this year right at the end of the football season, and was mad at his coach because he wouldn't play him in the last game after he just had his appendix out. This kid is an emotional and competitive individual. Gets another takedown to go ahead 7-1.
And he's just really a great guy to be around, and you know, like we said, his disease has been well documented, and he has just put that out of his mind. And the thing is, it's really brought he and his cousin Kenny very close together. Kenny suffered the loss of his mother a couple of years ago, and those two guys are very close, as is Kenny's brother Kevin, who was a 2-time state medalist.
Yeah, and he's in the corner coaching now for him. So
yeah, good point. He'd be coaching whether he was in the corner or not, so they just so happen.
I've really been impressed with them, not only as wrestlers but as individuals as well. They a couple of really nice kids.
In Class A, it's 5-2. Rick McGee leading Curley Smith Omaha North. They're just underway in the second period. In Class B, Chris Hatch leading 4-2 over Chris Ritchter. And in Class D, 7-1, Nordhues leading Atkins. So in Class A, it looks like, I think, Smith trying to get an escape.
Over in Class A, Hatch just let Ritchter up to make it 4-3. Hatch, the second-ranked wrestler, beat undefeated Jeff Hume of Sydney in the semifinals 2-1 to get here. And here's Nordhues with another near-fall situation. He's probably going to get the pin out of this one. And there it is. That's got to be it. 4-time state champion.
Crowd goes wild, and they're going to come to their feet here at the Devaney
Standing
Center.
ovation. Everybody's... That's amazing.
Oh, man, this place is rocking. They are going wild. And everybody's on their feet.
He's got to give credit to Joe Bob Atkins. You can't feel bad about losing that match.
Nope.
Donny Nordhues is an amazing individual.
Meanwhile, in Class A, we're in the third period. It's a 5-4 lead now for McGee over Curley Smith. Smith trying to get the takedown, so that one is up for grabs. In Class B, 4-3 our score. Chris Hatch leading Chris Ritchter. So a lot of excitement yet in this. Boy, this has been an outstanding weight class.
Curley Smith taking injury time for the second time. The crowd feels it's unnecessary and feels he's just trying to get a little more oxygen.
Well, again, the crowd's very heavily populated with Kearney fans, and that's a big part of it. And I think also people tend to pull for the underdog. But Curley Smith, you know, you really got to respect what he's done. He's already won one state title and undefeated this year. I think with a minute 12, 5-4, if I was going to pick, I think he's still going to come back and win. How you like that? Biggest prediction of the day, huh?
I'm not going to bet you anything.
I just think he's really a good. And nothing again. Rick McGee's a great wrestler, but I've seen Curley Smith too many times. Meanwhile, in B, we've got Chris Hatch hanging on to a 4-3 lead with just 30 seconds to go in the third period.
Crowd's still trying to relax a little bit from that Class D match.
Boy, Ritchter just about got a takedown. Ritchter of Ogallala, who's 30-8 as a senior for Ogallala.
Look at that, McGee in on a takedown. Unable to finish before they go out of bounds. Just under a minute to go in that match, 5-4. Curley Smith definitely not hustling back to the middle. McGee is.
And you know the thing about that, he'll get cautioned much quicker in this situation.
"11 seconds to go in Class B in a one-point match over there. We haven't even mentioned how close we are over there.
4-3 in Class B. Hatch leading Ritchter with 6 seconds to go, as they're still battling for the takedown, and trying to get in on him is Ritchter.
And there it is, Hatch.
Boy, that was an outstanding match. Hatch, ranked number 2, beats the number 3 wrestler.
Hatch just a junior. He'll be back again next year. We'll see a lot more of him.
Ritchter can be proud of his career as he finishes 30-9. So we have 3 champions now.
37 seconds to go in Class A in a 5-4 match. Curley Smith now getting on the offense, and there's a warning call against, and that point ties it up. It must have been the second warning for stalling against McGee. That ties the match at 5 apiece. Now McGee's going to have to get aggressive and go out and win the match.
Big mistake.
You're right.
That was just a big mistake. I think Smith really set him up. And I think the big thing there is a matter of confidence. Smith had just a little more confidence, but boy, the caution point is not going to be popular. But it makes no difference because of the takedown.
7 seconds to go. McGee would need the reversal. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get it. 2 seconds to go. They're going to come back to the middle. But just basically, it almost looked like a mistake by Rick McGee. Like you said, Curley Smith set him up a little bit, but he tried to do a duck under, sit through underneath, and just got caught.
So Curley Smith wins at 7-5. As we said, the Kearney fans in much disapproval. I think the caution thing, really, the thing about Smith getting the takedown, it kind of throws that out the window. But Curley Smith, the 2-time state champion, I think it's unfortunate he gets booed in that situation. I really do, but I can understand, you still have emotions involved, and it's the way it goes. Let's take a look now at the results of the state championship matches at 126 pounds. In Class A, Curley Smith wins over Rick McGee, 7-5. In Class B, it's Chris Hatch, a 4-3 winner over Chris Ritchter. In Class C, Jim Buresh scores a pin over Matt Nigro of Conestoga. And in Class D, Donny Nordhues becomes a 4-time state champion. Nordhues of Greeley with a pin over Joe Bob Atkins of Arnold. And again, Donny Nordhues, a 4-time state champion. Let's set up the matches now at 130.